Hey everybody, you're watching We the Fandom, where we discuss comic books, pop culture, and the fandom experience. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to see more content. How's it going everybody? Jacob here at We the Fandom. Today I'm reviewing episode 4 of Loki, and where I said that episode 3 seemed like a giant waste of time because it was really boring, kind of slow paced, episode 5 was the exact opposite. So much stuff happened. So the episode starts off with a peek at the origin of Sylvie. We get a quick look at Asgard. We see Sylvie just sitting there playing with some toys when the TVA all of a sudden shows up and arrests her for causing a Nexus event, although we don't actually get told what the Nexus event is. When she gets taken to the TVA, we see her go through all the processing stuff that Loki went through when he first arrived, although obviously she's a child. And then she gets taken to trial by Ravonna Renslayer. So at this point in time, Ravonna was just a hunter, not a judge yet. But as she's about to receive her sentence, Sylvie bites Ravonna's hand, takes her time pad, and makes her escape. And ever since then, she has been living out basically her life through thousands of apocalypses. Back at Lamentus 1, Loki and Sylvie are sitting there, hopeless, watching the coming destruction of the planet, and they seem to be having a moment. A romantic moment, which is definitely weird, but at the same time, it does make sense for Loki being the narcissistic character that he is. And as we get told later in the episode, the potential love between these two Lokis could create the biggest Nexus event of all time, and it does start to create a Nexus event. This is how the TVA finds the pair and takes them back to the TVA. So sorry about all those who had the theory that he had enchanted Sylvie during episode 3. It turns out the TVA just showed up at the last moment to save their lives. With Loki and Sylvie captured, they get taken to separate rooms, and Ravonna tells Mobius that nobody is allowed to interrogate Sylvie. Mobius does interrogate Loki, however, and during their conversation, Loki tells Mobius that all of them are variants, and that everything at the TVA is a lie. Mobius almost seems to believe it, but then just brushes it off as just being another lie told by Loki. And with that, he puts Loki in a time cage, which is basically like a time loop, and the event that he is constantly reliving was a time in the past when he had cut Lady Sif's hair, giving us a Lady Sif cameo, which was interesting. And basically she shows up and repeatedly gets mad at him for cutting her hair and kicks him in the balls, and I assume this happens like hundreds of times. Now, despite Mobius not believing Loki at first, he sees that Hunter B-15 is having some issues. That's right, I figured out what to call her instead of just that Hunter lady. But anyways, Hunter B-15 is basically having an identity crisis throughout the episode due to being shown memories by Sylvie when she had been enchanted all the way back in episode 2. Meanwhile, Mobius is able to take Ravonna's time pad to learn what happened to Hunter C-20, which was the hunter that had been captured first by Sylvie and enchanted during episode 2 as well. And where Ravonna had told him that she had died due to going crazy from the enchantment, he sees in a recording where she talks about remembering her past before the TVA. Realizing that Ravonna has probably been lying and that Loki actually told the truth for once, Mobius basically goes rogue. He springs Loki from the time cage, but just as they walk out, Ravonna and some guards show up. Mobius gets erased out of nowhere, and I was just like, what? Like, just like that, Owen Wilson's character is gone. So now Loki and Sylvie are getting taken to the Timekeepers because apparently the Timekeepers want to oversee their getting erased like directly. And at that point, I thought, okay, the credits are going to start rolling. We're not going to see the Timekeepers already. They're the final villains of the show. They're not going to show them in the like midpoint of the season. But they do get taken to the Timekeepers. They start talking, and when it seems like some terrible execution might take place, Hunter B-15 barges into the room, throws Sylvie a sword, and Sylvie throws it at one of the Timekeepers and lops his head right off. And where you might think, wow, that's all it takes to take down someone who created the timeline, it turns out that the Timekeepers are just animatrons. So we still don't know the real person behind all this. But Ravonna Renslayer has definitely shown herself to be something of a villain during this episode, whether she just really loves the law and order that comes with the TVA, or she knows who's actually behind the TVA and is working with them, only time will tell. But of course, after Sylvie had killed the Timekeeper, a fight breaks out between Loki, Sylvie, Hunter B-15, Ravonna, and a few guards. The Lokis seem to come out on top, and Loki tries to have a heartfelt moment where I believe he's about to tell Sylvie that he loves her, when all of a sudden he gets erased by Ravonna. Sylvie is able to disarm Ravonna, and where Ravonna asks Sylvie to end her life, which was surprising, Sylvie decides not to. Instead, she wants Ravonna to reveal the truth behind everything. So yeah, that was a big episode. So much stuff happened. Just like mind-blowing moment after mind-blowing moment. It totally puts episode 3 in its dust. Or as Owen Wilson would say, oh man, I feel like wow. But hold on, that isn't the end. Loki survives. He did not get wiped from existence. Instead, he seemed to be teleported to some other world. A world which I'm going to guess is a dumping ground for variant Lokis, because right in front of him are Kid Loki, Classic Loki, black guy with a hammer, who in the credits is called Boastful Loki, who at first I thought was a variant version of Thor, but then I saw the credits and also noticed he wears an outfit similar to this Loki in the comics, as well as a Crocodile Loki, who I don't know anything about. But damn, what a reveal. And we still have 2 more episodes to go. Episodes where we likely get the origin for Ravonna Renslayer, maybe more about Sylvie, definitely find out about all these variant Lokis, find out if maybe Mobius also survived, and figure out who is actually behind all of this. But I hope you guys found this video to your liking. If you did, please leave a comment below. Also hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.